Oh, 5 minutes later. You know, I thought about that 12th rep. For a sec, I thought, let me just sit here for a bit, catch my wind, and then try it again. And I thought, could probably do that, but I definitely ain't getting the 13th rep. So I called it 11. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but today it became more evident than ever. My stance is getting wider and wider. And not because I want to, not because it's a plan, it's not because of any of that. It's just because my comfort is now wider. Really weird, but that's what's happening. I showed you guys what I do in terms of warming up every day for the last month basically. Hip abduction work, every which way, man. Standing, pumping to the side, straight leg raise, straight leg hold, laying raise, laying hold, all that kind of stuff. Maybe that's got something to do with it, but my stance now is a little wider. And I reckon because of that, I'm more in my quads, and because of that, I've been having jelly legs now for 4 or 5 days. Initially I was like, maybe I just hit it extra hard, I'm not recovered or whatever. No, man, for the first time in a very long time, probably ever, my quads are jelly. And they were jelly before this session as well. There was jelly yesterday. Just real kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, it's kind of like malaise in my quads. Which, if I'll be honest with you, it's kind of nice. It's a nice sensation. But also, I don't know if you guys remember me telling you this, but the only thing that puts my quads on the map when it comes to squatting is when I do high reps. So like lots and lots and lots of volume. If I put enough volume into it, meaning the weight's not heavy, I start to feel my quads. The big squat routine is what I'm thinking of right now. That's the routine that would put my quads on the map like nothing else. And that's kind of from the same school of thought of bodyweight squats. You know, I did that stint as well. Hundreds of freaking bodyweight squats. Yes, my quads get lit up. And so back then when I was doing those high rep squats, big squat routine, body weight, all of that, the thing that would always pair up with the quad pump is nausea. I don't understand it, but every time I get a mean quad pump like this right now, I feel nauseous. I feel like vomiting. I ate last night at 6 p.m. and I haven't eaten yet, and it's 1 p.m. the following day. So we're talking like 18 hours or something. I don't even know how long. 19 hours of no food, and I'm saying nothing at all. I feel nauseous. I feel sick in my belly. Even right now, after doing all of this, usually I would have like an empty feeling, like I want to go eat or get some sugar down or something like that. But right now I don't feel like eating anything. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know what that is, but if you want to get stronger, you're not going to get stronger by giving a caloric deficit. And I'm looking at the clock right now, man, it's damn 1 o'clock, just past 1 o'clock, 10 past 1. So in 5 more hours, it's going to be 24 freaking hours. So we're talking 19 hours, right? Couple of thoughts when it comes to this. The first thought is the human evolution, the human body sometimes sends you messages and wants you to listen. Maybe my body wants a break. And I'm not necessarily talking about weightlifting. I'm talking about maybe I've ingested something. Maybe my body wants to repair. I don't know whether you guys know about this, but I'm a big believer in fasting. I think fasting unlocks a whole host of benefits. When you're in a fasted state, your insulin drops completely to zero, to nothing if you fast long enough. When there's no insulin in the body, glucagon and all these other freaking good hormones start circulating in the body. You go into a state of autophagy. I don't know if that term makes sense to you. Autophagy is this process of the body killing or eating, consuming bad cells. What are bad cells? Cancer cells, cells that need to leave so new reproduced cells can come in. So sometimes I think to myself, okay, your body wants to fast. Your body needs to fast for whatever reason. That's one train of thought. The second train of thought is you're overworked. And when you're overworked and stressed, this is me, I tend to lose my appetite. That's also a thing for me. Some people are the other way. Some people, when they get really, really stressed, they just want to freaking Pac-Man eat the fridge, just eat everything. I'm not like that. If I get stressed, I get off my food. So it could be other of those reasons. But the last thing I want to do in my mind is to sit down and force feed myself. I'm not a fan of that. I basically don't think it's healthy. See, right now I'm like burping. It's almost like my stomach is just feel like 1 or 2 out of 10 nausea. Like 10 out of 10 nausea is vomiting. I'm like at a 1 or a 2. Another thing that kind of popped into my mind was, ever since starting doing those holds of the barbell with, 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, all that stuff for 1 minute, around that time I reckon I started feeling this nausea. Is there a connection there? Could be. What's the connection? Well, that exercise is really taxing on the core. Really taxing on the core. What's that got to do with the appetite? There are receptors in your stomach which are basically baroreceptors. I think that's the term for them. I know there's baroreceptors in the vessels, but there are these receptors in the stomach which tell it how full it is. When it gets really, really full, it gives you the sensation of you are full, stop eating. So when you are doing a core exercise, whether it be sit-ups, whatever the case might be, you basically from the external, so from the muscles start to push in on the stomach, giving the sensation of fullness. And so you don't eat as much. So this is why a lot of people get confused about all these sorts of things, but I definitely think if you start training core religiously, you start to eat less because, everything around the stomach is now tighter, pushed in, squished, and there's less volume the stomach can occupy within your torso to fill itself. And so there's you have smaller meals, and I definitely have been having smaller and smaller and smaller meals, and now I'm freaking having no meals. And now we're talking about a 19-hour fast. There's a whole host of thoughts here. I know this video is now really long, but I just wanted to tell you guys where I'm at. A lot of you guys were like, Ivan, you haven't progressed in a little while. To that, I want to say, what did you expect? A linear progression. From 180 for 5 all the way to 180 for 20. It's not going to happen, man. I said, if I get this within the year, I'll be very, very happy. It's going to be a long, long journey, man. You know, if you just look at the calculator, I've gone from freaking 1 RM, 180 for 5, what is that? 1 RM, let's say of 200 or whatever, to 250 if the calculator is true, which is probably not. But so we've put on 40 kilos of 1 RM in 4 weeks. Get out of here. It's unrealistic to expect that I could be putting on rep after rep after rep. So these people in the comments who think they know what's going on and telling me this is not working, I don't know what your text reading. Maybe you should read some more stuff and get more in tune with training. But to go from 180 for 5 to 180 for 12 in the space of 4 weeks is very, very good progress. And frankly, I was quite surprised initially when I made that progress. So even if I hover now, 11, 12 reps, 10, 11, 12 for the next few weeks, I'm happy with that. There needs to be a plateau so my body can catch up so I can jump off again to the next step. So today it was excellent, 180 for 11. I'm happy with that. The concerning thing for me though is the food. The food. So I mean, on one hand, I'm kind of happy, and like I said, I definitely want to listen to the body. I'm not going to be force feeding myself. No way. In the time of the illness, whatever the illness is, if your body tells you to fast, 99% of the time, damn it, you should fast. Your body takes up a lot of energy in digestion. It takes so much freaking energy you don't even know. And so if your body is too busy spending all of its resources digesting this new foreign material, food, it's probably taking resources away from the immune system and trying to do all this other stuff. So when you go into a fasted state, all systems go to repair. So that's definitely part of my thinking here as well. And definitely I'm not going to eat until I'm ready to eat. The last few days I tried to kind of okay, shit man, it's been 16 hours, let me eat something. Some of those thoughts, right? Shit, it's time to eat. I feel full. In fact, right now, I'm going to go in the house, shower and whatnot, and I'll sit there. And maybe I'll start to get, that hypoglycemic, I don't know if you got, so hypoglycemia means low sugar. So there is psychological hunger. I don't know if you guys know about this. Psychological hunger, it's like learned behavior to eat every couple of hours. Psychological hunger. You got to be cranky because it's a learned behavior. If you remove the particular behavior from the current state, there's irritation there, right? That's psychological hunger. Physiological hunger is where you are basically getting hypoglycemic, where your sugar levels drop. That's like your actual flesh is now in need of resources. Not your mind wants a bit of stimuli from the habit of eating. No. We are now talking about you feel almost like pins and needles, washed out, blood pressure's low, you feel like you're about to pass out. That's physiological, that's body. So I've done fasting. I've fasted for 2 or 3 days, water fast. I'm not talking about anything, coffee, tea, nothing. There's a period around now, around 20 hours and maybe to the 30 and 40 hours. You start to develop on and off these periods of you're basically going into ketosis. Ketosis is not, your normal energy production. You start to burn fat, adipose tissue around your body for energy. That's called ketosis. And, a lot of times you'll see somebody has a really, really bad breath when they've fasted for a long time. It's because that acetone, that acidic byproduct of that ketosis, you're breathing out CO2 and all that stuff, right? So you start to smell funky when you haven't eaten in a while. That's ketosis. Ketoacidosis is the disease process that diabetics get. Anyway, I don't want to turn this into a freaking medical lecture, but when I go back in the house, I might start to feel a little bit weird. And so in that sense, I'll probably eat something. But even then, when I eat, I'll probably feel like I'm not eating my regular meals. In fact, last night, my wife, she cooked a great meal, man. Pasta and freaking beef in a pan with oil everywhere, dip it in and all that stuff, fresh bread, all that stuff that I love. And I ate, don't get me wrong, I ate at 6 p.m. I ate, but it was I can't believe I ate so little, man. And then I went in the living room, started playing video games, messing around with the kids, all that. And I'm cool, I'm gonna eat at 9 o'clock, another meal. And then I'll go to sleep. 9, 10 10 o'clock. I even extended my usual sleeping hours. 10 o'clock, 11, I'm like, God damn, am I not gonna eat again? That was a tiny meal. Had some water, went to bed, wake up today, I feel like that sensation of, yeah, I'm not ready to eat. Did some running around this morning. Well, oh, we're still on, thought the video cut out. Did some running around this morning and I was in 2 minds. I'm like, man, I've got a 180 for freaking 10 today, or 11, as it turned out to be. Am I really gonna go into this after a 19-hour fast? Am I really doing this? And I stood there and I walked in front of that fruit basket and I'm looking at the apples and the oranges and I'm looking at the banana. I'm like, maybe I should get a banana in. And I'm like, I don't feel like eating a banana, man. Screw it. Screw it. Went over, took a pinch of Himalayan salt, drank some water. Let's get a bit of hydration going. Because that's the thing when you're fasting, right? Like you're also missing out on electrolytes you would otherwise get through food. So, you know, down some water, a pinch of Himalayan salt for the electrolytes. Come in here, warmed up. Look, I don't feel very, very strong. I'm quite surprised 180 went for 11, but I thought to myself, shit, if I get 7, I'll be okay, man. But he moved. But that's where I'm at. Multiple different diagnoses. They're not training related. Maybe they are training, I don't know. But the strength is there. Like I'm 1 rep off my best in a fasted state. You know, in the past I used to say to you guys, like I feel quite strong when I'm fasted. But a lot of these thoughts were around like doing a 1 RM. Yeah, I can hit 165 on an, or 265 on a deadlift on an empty stomach. Did that. Multiple 260s on a deadlift, fasted. Hit my 210, fasted on the squat. All these like times were done in a fasted state. But these are 1 reps. I just did a AMRAP set, which is energy dependent method of training, right? Lots and lots of reps. Need a lot of glycogen in the muscle stores to like get through. So yeah, don't know, man. Last night I stepped on the scale and I was 100.5. So I haven't lost a lot of weight in the last 4 or 5 days at all. Maybe half a kilo or something, but that's probably water or whatever, fluctuates up and down. Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I need to think about this a little bit more to work out what's going on. But yeah, look, I'm going to continue to work the core. I think I need to. If that brings my weight down, then it's like 1 step forward, 1 step back in a way, you know. Don't know. Anyway, this is a long ass video, but appreciate you guys like always, man. Appreciate all the comments. I know there's some comments, certain guys that comment, but they just want to kick people, you know. They just want to troll and whatever. And there's one guy in particular who he thinks he's too smart. He comments some aggression towards me, and then people respond, and then he logs into another one of his accounts, which I recognize, and he comments on like he's supporting his first claim. Like, dude, I know what you're doing, man. I know what you're doing. But anyway, whatever, dude. Whatever floats your boat, man. If you feel like it gets you off, you know, whatever. Why don't you send me your 184 for AMRAP sets? Why don't you do that? Rather than be a keyboard warrior. Why don't you send me your work and see what you're capable of? And then maybe you have some ground to stand on. But anyway, for the rest of you guys, like always, I appreciate you guys. I'm constantly in communication with a lot of you guys. Freaking amazing thoughts, amazing discussions. Some of you guys have freaking led me down this track with your thoughts. So appreciate you guys. All right, catch you in the next one. Peace out.